friends. I'm gonna apologize right now for my voice because I know it's kind of bad. I've got really bad seasonal allergies. They're much worse than usual this year. And yeah, it's taking quite a toll on me. In particular, just my obviously my voice and my head, sinus clogging and all that good stuff. So I'm feeling very downtrodden physically today. But so I just wanted to say that I'm sorry. I know it's not going to sound real good this week, but we work with what we have. I was thinking this morning about tea time, this time that we spend together every Thursday, and I thought to myself, the past 2 weeks have been, I mean, not depressing, but they've been a little bit more on the mellow, somber side because I've been really stressed out about work and about the kids starting school and about the writing projects that I'm trying to finish on a deadline. And so just life, I guess, is where I'm going with this. And I've been really stressed out. And so we've been talking about like divine mercy a lot and, you know, prayer during dry spells and stress. I think the word stress has been in the title or otherwise in the show notes for the past 2 weeks. And so I thought to myself, I want this week to be slightly more uplifting. um, so what we're going to focus on this week is just kind of, lifey updates and like a wellness type of a spin on things. And so I thought that I would talk a little bit about fitness since I haven't done that in a while. But back in the early winter, so January, I talked about that quite a bit because I had a New Year's resolution with regard to workout classes. So I thought I would update about that and just let you know where that stands, especially since this is a time of year where we're not necessarily thinking about such wellness things because we're so busy with other things. But I think it's still really important, even when it's not New Year's, to keep those things in mind when we can, of course, within reason. So we'll talk about that too. So, like, what's going on? This has been a really difficult stretch for me at work. So, since I have been a librarian, I'll just be honest and say that this is the most stressed out that I've ever been. That being said, there has been some really good things that have come from it. And those are that I've always appreciated the people that I work with, but now that appreciation is even deeper. So the people that are on my little teaching team, the education team we're called, I really, really value and treasure the relationships and friendships that I have formed with all of them. We're a really close-knit group because we're doing all of this teaching and navigating it together, and we've just been in constant contact via like meeting out in the hall, outside of our offices, or on email about like, oh, this problem crept up, and so this is how I dealt with it, just so you know, for when you're teaching. Lots of that going on, and I really value what we offer each other. And so that I've just been really appreciating my job in a different way. It's been also nice that I haven't had reference or other meetings or anything else like that because we're so busy teaching. So I'm really just teaching or dealing with things involving teaching, answering student questions, troubleshooting problems that have come up with some of the technology that we're using while we're teaching in class, preparing for the next week. That's what I've been doing, and while stressful, I have really enjoyed it, and it's only going to get a little bit easier for sure. This transition semester is a huge challenge for a number of reasons and factors which are not going to be the case in future semesters. So hope springs eternal that it's not going to be quite this challenging in terms of the stress level and the crazy scheduling coming up. So we can, I guess, talk about that more as it draws closer and we confirm that it's going to actually go the way that we're hoping it's going to go. But I do think that it's going to definitely improve. So right now we're just kind of, working through this initial semester. It is what it is. It's the first time that we're doing it this way, so there's going to be a lot of kinks to work out. So we're working those out, and we all just need to, kind of buck up from September until the very beginning of December. We'll make it. So there's that. I've also just been really appreciating a new my friendships, which I have also always appreciated, but it's even more meaningful to me now. And in particular, I'm thinking about Christina and Allison and Sam, the three ladies that I text with the most and keep in touch with during the day. That has just been an absolute, just a big, I'm thinking of just like a big heart, you know, symbolizing me being in this like stormy sea and just trying to get through each day-to-day to-do list and tasks. And those ladies have just been, you know, like Jesus carrying me across the sand on that greeting card. It's been really, really, really a lifesaver and wonderful. And, you know, things like that are irreplaceable. So, yeah, that's a wonderful thing. And I was thinking about that last night even more because right before Mike and I went up to bed, you know, the kids were in bed, and I'll come back to the kids because we have back to school stuff going on with them, but they were both exhausted. I'm just really trying not to have to blow my nose while I'm recording this, so bear with me. They were finally in bed. They were both exhausted, and Mike and I were just about to go up. We were chatting, and he went up, and I just happened to check my Facebook feed as I was like brushing my teeth and all that, and I saw that, you know, I'm in a bunch of groups from my old high school, and recently I had thought about just like deleting the groups because I don't go to the reunions or anything like that. And, you know, I care that all of the people that I went to high school with are doing well, but I'm not really particularly close with any of them. I'm friends with some of them on Facebook, and that's really the extent of it. And so, like, the groups for my class and for our old high school, which doesn't exist anymore, they consolidated and got rid of the building that we were in. So it's just kind of weird. It's not like our school is even there anymore. And high school wasn't the happiest time of my life. It wasn't, you know, traumatic, but it wasn't the time in my life that I thrived. That didn't happen until college. So you know, I was like, yeah, I don't want to stay in these groups. Oh, yeah, I guess I will. It was a couple weeks ago. So last night I'm brushing my teeth and I checked my Facebook feed and I happened to see via one of my old high school friends and as well as the group, those high school groups in Facebook, that somebody that we went to school with passed away. And this is not the first time that this has happened. You know, I'm out of high school, okay, 20 years, okay, a little over. And so this has happened. Sure, it has happened for everybody, even if you've only been out of high school a short time. Unfortunately, you probably have lost a classmate. It's like statistics. It's awful. And it just, even if I didn't really know the person all that well, you have that common connection, and it really it hits you. Now I'm getting all depressing again. I'm sorry. But you know, it does it hits you a little hard. It makes you sad and feel bad for the person's family is missing them. And so as somebody, I remember this happened right after we graduated from high school, and it has happened a couple of times since then. Or it has been like somebody that I went to high school with. I remember like a sibling of theirs who was older than us or younger than us, I found out passed away. So, you know, somebody like still in your high school, if not in your exact class. So this particular person was right in my class when we graduated that year, and I recognized his name, and I saw the pictures, like, oh yeah, he looks familiar. I mean, I wasn't friends with him or anything close, but I remember him. You know, I remember him from class, and so it was a friendly acquaintance. And so it really made me like tear up a little bit. It made me very sad. And some of my friends from high school had kept in touch with him and were good friends with him. And so of course they're very upset about this because this is a loss now in their everyday lives. And you know, it just really makes you pause and think life is so short, and I swear it gets shorter as the years go on. The time goes by faster and faster and faster and faster and faster, because you have, as you know, just go on your journey of life, for the most part, your level of daily responsibilities increases regardless of what your vocation is, and therefore the time just seems to you that it goes by faster because your mind is occupied more often. And so it's just, you know, it made me a little sad. It made me a lot sad. But it really made me appreciate the friends that I have here and my family, my sisters, my parents, and like and the kids. It was just like another one of those renewals of I am very grateful for what I have while I have it, and I do not want that to pass me by without me fully appreciating it every moment of every day. So there's that. Trying to draw, and now I'm like, getting emotional, which is making the nose situation even more challenging, but we're gonna hang in there. Yeah, so I've just been really trying to I'm just gonna very discreetly use a tissue. Um, I'm going to really take this as a lesson in seizing the moment and appreciating things, especially since I have to go teach again in a half an hour. And good Lord, friends, I do not want to. I'm exhausted. Because of the way that it is, I'm teaching the same thing 15 times a week. I'm so sick of it. It feels really good to just say that. This is cathartic. I am. It's only the second week and I'm so sick of it. But trying to look at the positive. I like teaching. I really do. There's just certain things about this particular structure and format for this semester that are really just dragging me down. But it's not going to always be like that. So I am going to soldier forward. But looking at the positive. So there's that. The kids. It's funny because things have turned out to be the opposite of what I would have thought. Henry was so anxious about going back. I want it to be summer forever. I don't want to go back to school. He's going into 6th grade this year. He's in Catholic school, so he's going to be in the same building. He's considered in their middle school wing, but it's not anywhere like what I went through in middle school, and for that I'm really glad. He does change classes, but he's with the same group of kids. It's a small group. They've had a few new students this year, but otherwise, the classes are small. And he's in the same school now as Anne, the same place he's always been. Lots of comfort and security there. I'm happy about that. But he was, like, I don't want to go back. He was like all nervous about he didn't finish all of his summer reading, and so he was under all this pressure, and he was just, really nervous about getting up in the morning. I don't want to get up early. He's at almost 11. He's finally at an age where he was sleeping in more in the summer. He was always an early morning kid. 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and now he would sleep until 8 or 9 o'clock. That's late for him. And so I was thinking, man, they have to be at school early, so he has to get up at 6:30. And I was figuring his adjustment was going to be difficult. Anne was so excited about kindergarten, couldn't wait, was just bursting at the seams. She loved pre-K. So their first day was Tuesday, and it was a half day. And then yesterday was their first full day. And this is what has happened. Henry is doing great. He started setting his own alarm clock. He's got a new clock, and he's all excited about taking responsibility. His little stormtrooper clock, and so he presses the guy's helmet to turn off the alarm, and he's taking responsibility. He's remembering things so that I don't have to remember them, because Lord knows I'm not going to remember anymore. I've got just so many other things running through my head. So his gym clothes and his library books, and he's doing wonderful. He finished up his summer reading, and he seems motivated. He's, gotten right back in, walking home with some of his friends and stuff after school. He's doing great. He has not taken it as hard at all like I thought that he would, being back in school. And it's not that she dislikes school, but she's having a little bit of a hard time, and I should have seen this coming. But I didn't. Anne has always loved school, but the fact of the matter is she has never been in a full day environment before. She was never in daycare. It was different for Henry because when he was a baby, we didn't have family that was able to watch him for us full time while we were working. And so he was in a daycare, and he was there for full days. My mom, when he was a baby, had him 1 day a week, and then the other 4 days he was in daycare. When he moved to pre-K, he just went to pre-K in their pre-K room at the daycare, and my mom couldn't take him the Fridays anymore because of her work schedule changing, and so he was there 5 days a week, full days. And then he started kindergarten full day, and it was like no problem at all. With Anne, I didn't foresee how much different this would be for her. She has never been in a full-time setting. She's never went to daycare. She went to pre-K last year, but it was 2.5 hours. And my in-laws moved to Western New York when they retired from where they were living in Florida when Henry was a baby. And so they're able to keep her during the day while we're working. And so this is a big change for Anne. And yesterday and this morning, she was in a nasty little mood. She was totally exhausted. She was very feisty, very challenging, and being unkind to her brother and snapping at all of us. And I can tell that it has taken a toll on her. And I do feel worried about it because that's what I do well. But I know that it is going to take time for her to adjust. This is just the first week. Yesterday was the first day. And so she's like, Mommy, school just isn't fun. I don't like it. I think she's thinking of pre-K not only because it was so much shorter, but because she knew everybody there. She's not remembering the beginning when she was a little bit more tentative at the beginning of the school year last year. This year, it's not only is it all totally new, because now she was in the public pre-K. Now she's in the same school as Henry, in Catholic school, and so she doesn't know anybody. And totally new school, new structure for her day. It's hard. And I should have really seen that coming. So we've just been really patient with her and trying to help her to navigate this big change as best we can, which is not easy because she is being a sassy little thing. So we're just doing the best we can. So that's sort of the kid update. Today is September 8th. It's on the church calendar, the birthday of our Blessed Mother. And so this morning I pulled out I wish I had remembered to bring it in, but I didn't to show you, but my Mother Teresa, Saint Mother Teresa rosary. And I started a rosary for her that I'm going to finish on the way home. And, just praying for her to have a little bit more peace at school, and in gratitude for Henry adjusting so well. So I can see we're running, this will probably be a 20-minute episode. That's like a lot to talk about this week. Last week we ran short. This week I knew I was just bursting at the seams to talk to somebody. So here you go. So there's that. And then with the new semester starting up, the new group fitness classes started up. I bought the pass again this year. I talked about that back in January. This has been a real blessing for me. So you can take whatever class you want. It's unlimited for the whole semester. It's very inexpensive for staff to buy a pass. And so they've got all, Zumba and Pilates and Pyo and yoga and all kinds of body combat classes, whatever, running all day long, and you can take whatever you want. In the spring, I took Zumba and Pyo, and I loved both. In the summer, I took Pilates, and when I could, I took a bar class, something called Bar Flow. That was a yoga bar workout class. For the fall, I only have an opportunity to go once a week, but that's okay because I also have dance on Friday nights. So as long as I can get in, I'm working hard to fit in one a week. So that's what I was talking about with regard to wellness is, I made this commitment to myself that I wanted to keep this up, and it has been beneficial. I mentioned a few weeks ago that I was going to the doctor for my, yearly blood panel, and I was there after I recorded that episode, and sure enough, my cholesterol is like really good. It's way better than it ever has been, and it's just because of increased exercise. It helps to lower your bad cholesterol. So it's really doing good, and it's helpful for your mental health too. I know it is for me. It just keeps your spirits up when you're physically active, and it's, I'm sure it's a chemical thing, but it really does have an impact. So I've been working hard. I went to Pilates the first week of class. I really loved it. It's the same woman who taught in the summer. She's terrific. I love it. It's on Mondays. And I couldn't go this week because we were off for Labor Day. So yesterday I went to a new class, which was called Body Sculpt. So I've never been to this class before. There's no description. So I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't sure if I should bring my yoga mat or not. But I thought this is probably like Pilates with hand weights. So I'm going to bring the yoga mat. If I don't need it, I'll just leave it in my bag. And we'll just see how it is. So I went yesterday, and I get there, and there's an instructor I've never met before, and one other girl that I recognized from Pyo, who was there to take the class. And so she's sitting, I can see she has a yoga mat, and she's barefoot like I usually am when I'm working out, unless I'm taking Zumba. And I go, great. So I get all ready. I get my water bottle out and my mat, and the teacher's kind of chatting with us while she's setting up the music. It's just the two of us besides the instructor. And so we go to set up our mats, and she stands up and looks at us and says, so you two don't look very body sculpty. What am I missing? And there's this pregnant pause. And like in my head, my little Tiffany angel is like, who are you saying is not body sculpting? I mean, I'm not going to win any weightlifting contests, but I don't have a flabby arm situation going on. I work kind of hard at it. And I look at the other girl out of the corner of my eye. I can see her face looks kind of incredulous too. Like, is she insulting us? And I said, well, I've never taken this class before. I kind of wondered if that's what she was getting at, and I could see the other girl behind me nodding. So she's saying, I haven't either. And the instructor was like, oh, okay. And I said, did our bare feet give us away? And she said, yeah. And I noticed that she was wearing socks and sneakers. And she asked us a few other questions. And she's like, well, I'm going to modify it a little bit since it's just us. I'm like, what? I don't even know what we're modifying from. So the class was exactly what I was expecting, sort of like Pilates with hand weights, and I'm sore today as a result. But I asked her about it after class. She's like, yeah, it's usually more like cardio and running around a little bit more. And, so people would usually wear sneakers. More high impact. And I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, really, there should be descriptions so that people know what to expect and what kind of equipment you need. And yeah, you really should. So it was interesting. I enjoyed it. I felt good afterwards, and that's the reason that, I keep up with it. But it was different. It was different from any of the other classes that I've ever taken before. I think I have to take it again next week because on Monday in the Pilates slot, I have something going on for work, so I'll probably go next Wednesday to body sculpt again. So there you go. I guess there's lots of sculpting to be done. But we are all where we are, and I just try to. It's sort of one of those things that you do what you can within the boundaries of your time and vocation. And so for me right now, I am very happy if I can get to one workout class a week and walk where I can on other days. I try to keep track, get to my goal on my Fitbit, or at least very close to my goal. And I'll have dance class on Fridays. We just had a summer break for a couple weeks, but looking forward to going back. So that's like what's going on with me. So I've been keeping my spirits up, and I hope that it's all going well for you too. I'm running way, way long, but it's just one of those weeks, right? So write in and let me know what's going on with you. There was a couple other things I wanted to talk to you about, but I'm not gonna have time. And I hate that I'm not able to write as much. I'm writing one post a week. My subscriptions to Tea Time are way up, which is great, but I feel like I don't connect with you all as much anymore because I'm not able to write as much as I was in the past. I don't know what to do about that. I have it in my head. There's a request into God for direction. I haven't received an answer yet, so I will keep you posted. But I would like to do more, and it's very fulfilling to me. So if I'm struck by inspiration, I will let you know. But in the meantime, I hope you have a great weekend. I would love to hear from you. I know that you're all still out there, but I feel like with me writing less, I don't get as many comments, and that makes me really sad. Insert sad emoji here. But I understand, it's a busy time for everybody. So we're going to figure out something. Maybe we can do a book club coming up here, something. I feel like I need an idea, and then everything's going to snowball in a very happy way. So. All right, you all. I'd love to hear from you and how you're doing and how your September is going. In the meantime, I'm signing off, but I look forward to talking to you all next week. Bye.